CREWCast. 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 Give it up for the CREWCast!
Right, we're on. Episode 71.
We are on.
Lots of freaking gremlin.
Yeah. All gremlins from last week.
Coming loose on our mics.
Yeah.
Just the camera angles.
Remaining gremlins from last week.
Right, so we're on, what's the date? The 4th today, so you're watching this on the 6th, and I'm pretty sure everybody will have been gripped by the Amber Turd news of the week.
Yeah.
And there's updates now as well. So first off, we got a win in the column for the dudes.
Yes. Yeah.
Finally.
Johnny got it.
Got it, well deserved. It had to be. Had to be. Anybody who watched that, anybody watched any of it, any point of it at all, even if you only watched an hour of the whole 6 weeks, whatever it went on for, every time somebody's on the stand for her,
I saw something.
just torn to pieces.
I don't know whether I sent it you actually, and it was one of the people on the jury, because they're not meant to see any, they're meant to basically avoid social media so they don't get any kind of bias. And they did an interview after, and it was like talking about like what their thoughts were, and they were just like, well, I was surprised at how funny all of the Amber Heard stuff was. And he also said that seeing a lot of the mannerisms and the things condensed made it much more apparent. He said that they pretty much unanimously they weren't like pro one or the other, but they felt like there was more bullshit coming from Amber consistently.
Yeah, consistent bullshit.
And he said that when he saw it all condensed into these like compilations, he said it made it so much more noticeable. He said that he like felt quite uncomfortable with it, the way she was always turning and like
I said
staring,
that
to the point where like he said he would make sure that he'd listen, but he just wouldn't look at her because he like felt really like she was pressuring them when she'd like be staring at them.
She's such a douche.
Yeah.
When they asked a question, she'd literally go, look at the guy who asked the question, and then turn and stare at them whilst nodding. And she would do this downward turn, like, face, really, almost aggressive all the time.
Yeah.
Sneering. Oh, she's an awful human being.
Yeah, so that's a massive win. Did you see? I don't know whether it was true, but I saw a clip of Johnny Depp, because he'd been in the UK.
He was
In a pub. Apparently.
Yeah, he was in a pub in, was it Liverpool?
I'm not sure where.
And then he came out at a gig for a guy's name I can't remember, because they wrote a song together. It's a cover of a Beatles song, Isolation.
Yeah.
And he came out on stage and played literally the day after.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, what the fuck? No announcement, nothing, just random Johnny Depp on the stage.
Yeah, imagine how fucking cool that'd be. Just imagine being at the pub and then Johnny Depp walks past.
It was back living his life.
Yeah.
It was just, he got what he needed. Regardless of a win or a loss, he put her back in a place of not being this victim and showing. He showed the world she absolutely wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was just equalising, I suppose, because effectively what she tried to do to him...
cost him about 100 million, I reckon, in contracts.
Oh, God, yeah. Like, what she tried to do to him, obviously destroy his character and ruin his career, she's actually ended up just doing that to herself.
Yes.
And I think now it's just painted Johnny in an even better light, really.
There's no doubt she was abusive, that she's got maybe some kind of bipolar issue. She's definitely narcissistic. She definitely believes her own lies. Like, I genuinely think she justifies her lies. Like, when she talked about hitting him, she justified it because he tried to shut a door on her, which caught her foot. So that then justified her punching him in the head.
Yeah.
But in her head, that made sense. I was only reacting to my foot getting caught in the door. He's like, your foot got caught in the door by accident. It wasn't deliberate. And you punched me in the face.
Yeah. Very different.
It's not how life works. No. So she definitely has some serious deep set issues, but watching her just trying to cry for the last 6 weeks has been amazing. And when they brought someone on the stand who was it her acting coach or somebody was on there, who basically said outright that Amber has an issue crying when it's in character.
Yeah.
And so it basically was like, so she's been in character this whole fucking time. I think that was a big sting. That and Kate Moss coming on and saying that Johnny basically carried her in his arms after she fell down some stairs, and he was the reason she got help, not the reason she got hurt. Oh, that was a nail in a coffin.
Yeah. Do you see the interview from the guy from TMZ, or the guy who
he was brilliant.
Yeah. And how he worded everything. So he literally, without saying Amber Heard told us everything, he said that.
Yeah,
and he obviously like worded it in a way that made it like no two ways about it, that she was the one who well, it was defamation.
Yeah.
Like, and that was like
And the fact they
point
sent
of-
edited the clip as well. An edited clip was sent
Yeah.
through to TMZ from the original one they saw in court.
Yeah.
So she'd
edited it already, passed it on to them.
That's defamation. Like that's character defamation. So what does it mean overall? Well, here's the thing. It means that no matter whether you're a woman, a man, a they, you can't abuse somebody and get away with it.
Yeah.
You can't hit it just because when a woman hits a man, more often than not, the man receives minimal damage.
Yeah.
There's not usually any broken things. When a man hits a woman, there's a different outcome. There's broken cheekbones, orbital sockets, broken ribs. It's the difference in bone density alone makes the outcome different.
Yeah.
And just because the damage is less when a woman hits a man or a woman hits a woman,
Yeah.
doesn't mean you can do it. And did you see the disgusting tweet she put out afterwards? No. She put out this tweet saying that she couldn't believe how the overwhelming evidence wasn't enough to bring Johnny Depp down. That it just showed the power this man has over everyone around him, and how this is a step back for abused women. The bitch still, even after being shown in every single sound clip, every single video, every single time she tried to show something Johnny being bad, he was asleep. Every time she tried to show some vocal thing of them of an argument, it's her being a bitch or violent. It all backfired on her. And after all of that, she dares to still put herself at the face of victimized women.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest issue with the whole thing. Obviously, again, it's brilliant for Johnny, but it has almost created this whole men v women thing, which that's not the point. It should be
Abuser versus victim.
Yeah, it's about the victims, isn't it? Really, and what she did by making false accusations, that's just shit on a load of other women and men that have been abused, that's gonna now, because this is so public, there's always going to be a little bit of doubt. Is like, is someone just playing this up? Especially in like the celebrity situation where there's massive financial gain, then it's gonna cast more doubt on is it legitimate? Whereas before, I think that the people almost took it at face value.
But I think what it will do will put people off false claims.
Yes.
So I think it's going to help legitimize actual claims going through, because people are going to be less inclined to try and bullshit the system now they know. So let's work out. Because of what she's done, she now suffers a £10.5 million fine and another £5 million fine for defamation. She was found on 2 accounts to owe that value. Johnny Depp has to pay her $2 million because of something someone else said on his behalf about her using violence against women as a weapon or something like that. One of his spokesperson, whatever you want to say, said that on his behalf, so he was liable for that. Yeah. So even the thing he got done for didn't come from his mouth. Yeah. It was from one of his people acting as well. So
yeah, so I think you're right. It's probably going to have hindered anyone else who might have been considering making false accusations. But I still think it also may have hindered people that are making legitimate accusations now, just because there's more people are going to be thinking, is it real? Is it not?
Oh yeah, she's put women back.
Yeah, she
has.
100%.
Not the outcome. Her.
No,
Amber, have done that to women.
Yeah, because again, that shouldn't
with falsified claims.
It's such an extreme. And I can't understand that. Literally, most people, you're in the public eye that much, and then your name gets dragged through the mud. You can't get work. You can't get anything like that. Surely, whoever is the victim of that is at risk of suicide. Is at risk of anything. Like Johnny's life. If imagine that was all true and that all came out. What would the state of his life be afterwards? Wouldn't be fucking worth living. He'd have nobody would talk to him. Nobody would want to be his friend. He'd be publicly hated. So why? How extreme has it got to be for you to want to do that to somebody, and for that all to be false?
I know. That's how it's so vindictive. You're talking about a multinational scale scandal.
Yeah.
And one person at the brunt of it who had to then fight back to show, actually, no, this isn't true. But now, look what he's done. He's cleared his name. The support for him has never been bigger. He has like the whole world was behind that man, other than like these few zealots who were just any woman. You know, it's these Karens that any woman says anything, then you can't deny the woman, which is what's damaging.
Yeah.
Like you should, no matter what, whether it's a female or male, you need to verify the information.
Yeah.
That's what matters. Is what's the information? What's the proof?
Yeah.
And all these people that came out and were like behind her because of the women's Me Too fucking movement is to blame for a bit. A lot of it as well. A lot of people use the Me Too movement to make money or get more fame or get notoriety, and it's been shown up, and that's the problem. Is these whole movements, they become like a cult thing where people just jump on it to make noise, to get seen, to get heard, and so her doing this, which originally got her in the limelight, now has completely backfired, because not only this has happened, we had an update 2 days ago, she has now been completely and utterly deleted from Aquaman 2. Like, full on delete.
Yeah.
Control, Alt, Bink. Gone. She'll still get paid, I think, unless...
I think she's been paid, but I don't know whether...
I don't know, because contracts might have, if you bring anything into disrepute or... like the branding. I don't know what you describe it as, but if you were to bring the brand of Warner Brothers into like disrepute or something like that, there's a lot of contractual agreements that state that
they might be able to
be a breach of contract.
Yeah, they may be able to get that back, and I hope that they can do it, even though she's put the work in for it in the first place. If Warner Brothers wanted to make any money on that film, because there was, last time I saw, there was over 5 million
now.
Is it 6 million?
They wanted 4.5 million. So the petition was to get Amber Heard removed from Aquaman 2. It reached 4.5 million signatures, which was their target.
Yeah.
And they then changed it, and it's a 4 million. It was. Then they changed it to 6 million once it hit 4 million. So now it's at 4.5 million. I beg your pardon.
Okay.
And they're aiming for now 6 million, which I bet today, now after that result, it's already hit that.
I saw somebody said that there's a, Johnny Depp's lawyer.
Yeah. Oh, Camille. Get Camille in instead of Amber. Definitely. Yeah.
There was
get
like,
that petition.
It only had a few thousand, but I was just like, just for banter.
Yeah.
Get Johnny Depp's lawyer in
Imagine.
there. Yeah.
She was great. I loved the fact she was feisty. When she just was called her a liar.
Yeah.
Like, outright.
Yeah. God,
she made her squirm.
Yeah, being a lawyer, that's like next level.
Yeah.
Just resilience to conflict.
But it was clever having a female against a female, because it removed any of that masculinity from the argument in that between those two.
Just seeing,
she could be fiery with her.
Yeah, just seeing the relationship with Johnny and the people that were on his team. They all seemed happy. Yeah. Like, they were nice. They were like this really supportive.
We're running the truth. That's why.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to twist a lie.
Yeah. So just in every way possible, it kind of, I wished I saw more of it, because I only saw highlights and clips, and obviously you're just going to get the best bits. But then every person that was on for Amber, you were just like, who the fuck is this idiot? Well, no, and like, it was almost like set up. It was so bad. You're like, can she be pulling in anyone worse?
The people who came on for Amber, that was the problem, was she had no friends come to her aid. They were all workers or co-workers or witnesses. There were none of them came to represent her as a human being.
Yeah.
And that just screams problems. Like, if you burnt every bridge with every person that you've ever, because she must, I mean, come on, being in a Hollywood circle, there can't be that many people that you can be friends with. So if you've burnt a bridge with all the only people you can be friends with,
there's got to be something like, psychologically not
she's
right
twisted
with her. Yeah,
she's shit in a bed.
Yeah. There's definitely, that's not normal behaviour. Like, there's definitely something going on there. Well, while you're up, mate, that was a nice T-shirt that you've got on.
Oh, it's a little. This is a little place I know called Black Country Barbell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And they've brought out these lovely new T-shirts.
They're not out yet, actually. They'll be out. They'll be out after next week's podcast.
They've almost brought out these lovely new T-shirts, which are they're cool, man. I like it. Yeah. So this is the new logo, is it?
Yeah.
The barbelled skull. And then we've got the big back print as well. Yeah. You'll see if you can get your meaty girth on there. Yeah, if you turn
tap on it. Oh, no, you won't be.
No, it'll just, if you stick there long enough,
Is it focused?
You can see it, even if it's not focused. That's pretty freaking cool. Yeah. Back prints are the future. Yeah. Back prints are the way forward.
Focus on me.
I'm the star. I'm the star. Yeah, no, they're cool. When are these available?
So when you're listening to next week's podcast, they'll be out then.
So we'll be able to tell them on next week's.
Yeah.
There you go, where you can get them from. Yes, prepare for those.
We'll put a link in the in the bio.
And these are actually a bit of a basis for ones that we want to use for CREWCast tees.
Yes, yeah, this was another little test that we ran, and you really like them, I like
Yeah,
them.
so this, I'm in a size large. I just rolled the sleeves whilst we were starting just to see what they're like, and they actually do roll okay.
Yeah.
Because I like rolled sleeves. I don't know. I don't know. So I do it with all my stuff. I don't know what it is. I just really like it.
It's because you got big old pipes, right?
It is piped, but I think a lot because I have to go in a large. The arm is just that little bit too long on me because they think I'm just a big fat bloke.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so
It's the same for me.
think
That larges always are like the sleeves are a little bit too long on me.
But when I did make my own stuff and I made the sleeves slightly shorter, it doesn't actually. They sit weird if you make them a little shorter on a large.
Yeah, they almost end up being too high at the back.
Yeah, they
and
get pulled from the shoulder, so it's actually better to have it just with the roll, safer for fitments and for people who don't care about showing the pipes.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
you've got both options.
How much is it going to be?
I'm not quite sure what the price will end up being. It's about £21, I think, somewhere around that. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I haven't actually worked out all the pricing.
Sweet. Cool beans. So yeah, Country Barbell merch coming shortly.
And CREWCast coming closely
I was
following.
gonna say what else we need to tell them about the CREWCast one is I'll get the logos, logos up on my story, I think, and we'll have a vote on 2 different variations of it.
Yeah.
And we'll see which one goes and we'll print that one.
That is a good shout.
We'll do that one. It'll be during the week, so keep an eye on my stories during the week, and then I'll remind you again on the next one as well.
Yeah.
I'll put it up on the next one when we do the next one. We'll do another vote.
Oh, what you can do on YouTube, because you can do I'm sure you can do a poll and a picture. So if you put the picture up and put like A and B, and then they can just vote A and B.
Okay, we'll do that too.
I think that'll work.
Oh, and also, so we now have a Twitch account.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to attempt, once we figure out how to be able to use a laptop and stream from a different camera without having to buy a new webcam in time, we're going to have live Twitch stream running through the podcast when we record them on the Friday. But what we'll do is we're going to have maybe a prequel, like a pre-show to the podcast, which will just be Twitch.
Yeah.
And then we'll go live, and we'll be streaming live with Twitch, so we'll be able to interact with you guys live on the evenings. And then we're going to introduce some more of those Twitch episodes during the week, like smaller ones, or sometimes maybe I'll just jump on and we'll cover like just a topic of it, like a 15-minute quick Twitch stream and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to get more interactive with everybody.
Yeah.
This is what's going on.
Twitch is meant to be really good, isn't it? I've not messed around with it too much myself.
It's just more than gaming now, isn't it? That's the thing about
Yeah,
it.
well, I think that was its
Pretty much just a
initial
live platform.
Yeah, that was its initial thing was
Yeah.
gaming, and then I think it has branched out to a bit more.
Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll test run some cameras with it, and then we'll get it up and running. So that'd be cool.
Fingers crossed next week.
Yes, yeah. Hopefully,
crossed.
yeah. During the week, I'll have a play with it and get it going because the account's all set up, everything's done, and then we can crack on with that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun because we'd have interactive questions and stuff going on, rather than having to wait for Instacrap to crash and not load stuff up when you need it to.
Where are we going tonight, mate?
Oh yeah. So do you know I've had people messaging about this all week as well.
Yeah.
So since our Top Gun review, which came out, people have agreed with us. Top Gun Maverick is fucking awesome. That's the general consensus. This movie's fucking loved.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. So we saw it at the IMAX as quickly as we could. We saw it on the Friday, didn't we? Because we couldn't get there because you were busy during the week. So for the opening night, which is randomly like a Wednesday, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do they do that now?
Midweek opening.
Midweeks, yeah.
Don't know.
Because the Jurassic World, which is our next one, which we're going to cover, that's on a Friday.
Yeah.
Like normal.
Is that next week?
9th, 10th.
That'll be next week.
So next week, yeah. So we'll be literally from cinema to chair to review straight up for you guys for Jurassic World. Looks pretty good.
I know.
Looks pretty good. It's the big hurrah, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got Goldblum back.
Yeah.
Everything's going on.
Yeah.
I love Goldblum.
Yeah, he's just...
Have you seen that series? It's got on Netflix.
No.
Oh, you need to watch it. It's either called Goldblum's World or Jeff's World.
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant. He is so weird.
I was going to say he's weird. He's like brilliant, but weird at the same
Super
time.
fucking weird.
So,
But in like such a non-creepy way.
Oh, I thought he was creepy from the bits that I've seen, but
no, I
either
love
way,
him.
creepy or not, I don't care.
He's just the way he speaks.
He's just out there, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just he is Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
That's almost he's his own character.
He wouldn't work in anywhere but movies.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
just TV.
Or just in an insane asylum. that was the two options for Jeff Goldblum.
He would make a good Riddler.
Yeah. Well, where we're going tonight anyway. So we're going to watch Top Gun Maverick.
Back to see Top Gun
again.
But this time,
yeah, we're going to go
4D world.
4DX.
4DX.
Because
IMAX with moving chairs and whoosh whoosh.
Well, I first saw in the comments of the review, somebody mentioned 4DX. I was like, oh, I remember seeing that, but I literally didn't even clock what it was. I just was like,
Yeah.
I just was thinking IMAX straight away. But to be fair, if there's going to be a 4DX film, I imagine this is going to be really good. Like
Gotta
with
be.
the
Jet fighter seats.
Yeah, the seats moving around and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll let you know later, but I think it's going to be good.
I think it's going to be wicked.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. It's meant to blow. It's meant to have like water, air, smells, and weird shit going on. I don't know. I've never been. First time going.
Yeah, no, I've not been to a 4DX before. I didn't even click that it was a thing at this.
The cinema's sick.
Yeah, this
everything.
Cineworld's really good. But having IMAX and
the 4D.
4DX. But
I've had this thing for years. It's got to be at least 8 years now. I've had this thing where I have to sit slightly to the left because I read in a review of critics over a set amount of movie reviews, they monitored where they sat in the cinema compared to what kind of review they gave. And critics who sat towards the left-hand side of the screen always gave more favourable reviews, were more likely to give a favourable review than people who sat to the right. And that's something to do with our visual cortex is on the left-hand side of our brain.
right.
So there was some correlation to it. So now, because I love movies, I'm like, just going to sit slightly to the left to enjoy it that little bit more.
Might like it just a tiny little bit more.
Yeah.
But no, everyone who I've spoke to who's seen it said they absolutely loved it. And it was like, again, much the same as what we said. It was like, it was that perfect amount of like, it's got a bit of cheese in there, but like not to the point where you're ever cringing. It's just like, it's the cheese that gets you excited. You're like, yeah.
Somebody said the other one that at the beginning I said the other one was rooted more in reality and this one was movie magic. And they were like, rooted in reality? It's a cheesy American something about planes. I went, and I had to respond being, if you listened, I meant as in the dogfights.
Yeah.
As in there wasn't a shit ton of plane-on-plane action.
No.
And there's only like maybe 2 planes shot down the whole time.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's full-on
over
Mission
the top.
Impossible,
Yeah.
over-the-top warfare.
Yeah.
You know, that 100% doesn't happen in real life.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it's, especially the fact that we're just like, we're pulling in a pilot from the past. Yeah.
The dude that literally just took a multi-billion-dollar plane and blew it up.
Yeah.
You're just going to give him another job.
That guy who's nearly 60, he can do this. Ugh.
How old is he meant to be in this? It's only meant to be 10 years or something later, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is,
I
I
wasn't
think.
paying attention
Yeah.
to the time frame of it. Because there was talk about the different gens of planes, so I'm sure people that are more plane
Plane
people.
Yeah. Plane. Hey, do you know there's in Shifnal, which is only like 30 minutes away, there's a full RAF base you can go tour around for free.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, we should do that.
I know.
Yeah, that
Free.
sounds great. For free.
And there's like a shitload of stuff you can go and see there. It's massive, apparently.
No.
I mean, I was telling people, they're like, yeah, the RAF place. I was like, yeah.
All right, no.
No clue. No clue. It was just half an hour down the road.
No idea. Yeah, we'll sort that one of the days.
Yeah. So there's that. What else is there? There's something I found something else cool nearby. No, I can't remember. Oh, I went go-karting the other day
Yeah.
in Stourbridge.
Oh, you went to the karting place there? Apparently that's one of the best in the area, that
Oh,
is.
it was really good.
Yeah, I've been told by multiple people, because like I mentioned to some people at my old job ages ago who were like big into go-karting that I was in Stourbridge, and they're like, oh yeah, have you been to blah, blah, blah? And I was like, no.
What?
And it was like, yeah, people travel all over to get to that
Really?
one. Yeah, because apparently it's a really good track.
It is a good track, and I've never jumped a go-kart before. I have now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, there's a bit where you go up. It's because it's multi-leveled.
Yeah.
So you go up like into a switchback. So you go up the hill, switch, it loops round, and then you go back straight down, and then underneath.
Yeah.
And as you come up, it launches. It's basically a launch ramp.
Yeah.
So it jumps, and then you kind of bounce your way around the corner. So obviously the trick is to not do that.
Yeah.
You want to come off a smooth and zoom around the corner. But obviously the first thing you learn, it's just literally go, poof, and then you go, as it goes down, you literally just launch off.
Yeah.
And then land like I'd say a good 4 feet later if you floor it. Like
Yeah.
it probably, like it's hard to control it when you land and you don't go flying into the wall. Yeah, it's probably brutal.
Oh, really?
Because obviously the go-kart's got no suspension.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the suspension like? I was like, did your
Zero.
ass just batter?
Yeah, you just get twatted. So you just go fly down. But dude, I went and paid the 25 lap go, which is what you do all in one session. So you do 25 laps.
Yeah.
And it's like, because your hands afterwards, mate.
Yeah.
This bit here on the palm, that like pad there,
Yeah.
was so pumped.
Yeah.
It was like a little shouldered muscle sticking off my hands. They were erect. I was like, there's no way I could do another.
Geary thumbs,
I could probably get around another 12 to 15 laps before my hands would give up.
Fucking hell.
But even going round, there was a bit where I was on the straight, so I was shaking my hands out just for a few seconds to get ready to rag it into the hairpin.
Yeah, wow. No, I didn't. I'll try it out. I've been told multiple times.
We should go. We could. Oh no, maybe not. Well, we'll sort it out.
Yeah.
It's good fun though. That, I think, go-karting, paintballing, all these things, they are bloody good fun. You forget how fun they are until you go again.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been paintballing.
You just get that like a giant child.
Yeah. I've not been doing anything anywhere near as fun. I've been mainly working in my garden in my spare time.
Oh, let's talk about the warfare that's going on outside at the moment between the ants and humans.
I don't have
not got any?
I have none.
I mean, I've got ornery ants. They're ornery. Dude, they're like 20 hills deep in that back garden.
I saw.
Motherfuckers are building turrets. Yeah. They've got little trenches going on.
Looks like fucking Scarface has been out the back. There's just mountains of white powder.
They've got tunneling. They're tunneling holes underneath the patio to then other areas of the garden. There's escape routes.
They're trying to get into your house.
There's little ones on motorbikes, jumping patio. Little
go-karting.
Great escapes going all over the place. Because I don't want to take a kettle to them again like I did last year.
Yeah.
Because it ruins your grass. And you end up with all these massive ball patches because you're just torching everything. It's like napalm in it. So I've got this.
Is the poison not as bad for the grass?
Well, I don't know. Last year I got these sugar crystals that were tainted that they're supposed to take back to the hive, and they all just go, "Oh, num num, dead."
All right.
Didn't work. They just ignored them. They're like, "Motherfucker, we're not there."
Yeah, I've had them before.
Yeah, that's a guy worse than sweet and low. That bro, I'm not taking that shit. So they ignored it. So this time I went and I've got this white powder that is in like a squeezy bottle, so it almost like billows it out. So you squeeze the whole bottle and it goes poof, poof, and blows this powder out. So now my garden looks like a polka dot pattern, just all over. But I'm sick of them. They got in the house, into the cupboards.
I'm really fortunate. I don't have any ants.
It's everyone. All the neighbours have got it as well.
Yeah.
They're just here for some reason.
I've just dug up all the fucking dirt in my garden, so if there was going to be anyone...
tons of it.
All I want to do is put a bit of fucking grass down, because I've only got there's just slabs and gravel. So yeah, obviously we're getting a pup soon, so I wanted a little bit of grass. Fucking hell, it's been an absolute nightmare. And dirt's expensive. I've just removed a load of dirt to then get other dirt, like topsoil dirt.
Pay dirt.
Yeah, which is like hundreds of pounds for not that much soil. Although when you're wheeling it up a really steep drive, it was like...
Did they put it at the bottom of your drive?
Well, they can't get it any further because it's on a crane. It's literally... the bag is 850 kilos each bag. So the crane got it as far as it could reach. But then it was actually worse. I think it would have been better to be on the bottom of the drive, because the ones that were on the drive meant that I was filling my barrow up and then I had to start from a dead stop. I couldn't get a run up. So I was literally leaning over the barrow, on my tiptoes, trying to get it started. So I've just been battered. And
fuck adulting, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand people who like gardening.
No, I don't. My mum loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it. And don't get me wrong, I like the end result.
Yeah.
That bit in the middle.
Yeah, it's looking better now. We're pretty much good to go. I've just got to get the turf down, and I need to do some shit with my slabs. I've got to get some black spot remover because I've jet washed them and there's still little patches on. So, God, we're fucking boring.
This is boring bullshit, isn't it?
The thing is...
But you've got to do it to have nice.
Yeah.
What was I watching today? To make things... You can't complain about not having nice things if you don't do anything to make them nice.
Yeah, but my bathroom... I've done my bathroom... And it'll stay nice now. I'm just going to keep on top of cleaning it.
I suppose that's the point.
But your garden actively tries to fall apart.
I cut the garden 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I was just, rain came, didn't it? And then there was a meadow.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck you guys, it's been 2 weeks. And they're like, yeah, because you cut down the grass, so now we can grow. And they're like, weeds! Yeah. Just fucking
imagine I've just done my bathroom, and then 2 weeks later, I've got to regrout it all because it's just oh yeah, we've decided to grow out of this.
Yeah,
it's just
imagine.
Gardening's just an endless task. You're just fighting the tide of nature, trying to bend nature to your will, and it's never going to happen.
Yeah, that isn't happening.
So yeah, that's what I was doing, and then what I was doing on the nights, I've been watching the new series of Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, we've got that to cover as well, and also Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
have you started that?
No, I haven't. I've just watched the whole of Stranger Things.
I haven't watched all of it.
Fuck me, it's so good.
Yeah, it's good. I'm at the point where... Actually, I don't want to do any spoilers in case people haven't seen it. It's aggressive.
Yeah. How many have you watched?
I think I'm on to about episode 6.
Oh yeah, you're caught. So there's 5. No, there's 7. I think there's 7 parts.
I'm on like 5 or 6.
Yeah, so there's 7 in this, and then the rest of it comes out in like a month's time.
I've literally just watched the one where they go to visit the dude who...
Right, yeah. Okay.
And then they get...
I think that's 5, maybe.
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really... Because I was so worried, because I really enjoyed the first 3 seasons of Stranger Things, and because it's been so long, I was like... Oh.
Dude, I struggle to remember some of the characters.
We started watching, and after 10 minutes, we literally stopped it, went onto YouTube, and found like a 20-minute...
breakdown.
Yeah, like summary of everything, because I was like, I can't fucking remember what's happened.
No, and they've all grown so much. I can barely remember which one was which.
Yeah, and I was just... It's so funny, like, seeing them, they're like full-grown men.
Yeah.
But, like, the last season, they were like, all right. And now they're like, all right.
Other than the bloke who still hasn't got any adult teeth.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just, have veneers?
I don't know, maybe he likes that look.
What? The look that looks like he's about to dribble every time he talks.
It's obviously working for him. It got him that role, so I don't know.
Because when I'm going to be, this is a bit bad, but when it started, and you know when it came on, they were like all grown.
Yeah.
I immediately went, oh. I was like, oh, he's outgrown his cuteness.
Yeah.
Like in a not a good way.
Yeah.
Like, but then when he actually started watching, he is still really likable.
He's brilliant.
But I was worried that he would just be like a bit weird.
Yeah.
And because he had that
He's
underdog cute kid thing going on before. You know what I mean? He was,
But he's got those weird shoulders. Like it looks, people that can touch their front delts together, they can like...
Do you think he's got that?
If you look at how he stands, he looks like his rib cage looks like it's about that wide, and then he's just got his like shoulders that rotate.
There's people that can clap their shoulders together.
It looks like he can do that.
They're missing an entire sternum though.
Yeah, that's what he looks like.
No collarbones.
No collarbones.
No collarbones.
Look at his build. I swear he can do that.
He does have a weird genetic makeup.
Yeah, but
what do you think? What do you think of it though? Because I like
criticizing these children.
Yeah. Just talking about abuse at the beginning of it, and now we're all just like, no adult toothed weirdo that can clap his shoulders.
No, he's brilliant though.
No, he is really good. He's just as good and just as funny. He's carried it through. I just worried that maybe part of our allure to him was the fact that he was this underdog, who didn't have his teeth in yet, and he's standing up to the bullies, and you're like, yeah, you fucking go, slightly chubby kid that's still smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just worried, but he actually, in the first scene when he came out, they made him look really fat.
I can't remember.
Yeah, there's like a shot of him, and I was like, whoa, he's gay, wow. So like, I thought he'd just blown out, but then they carried on, and he's actually not.
Yeah.
He's quite average. So I don't know what
He's got like chubby cheeks and stuff.
Yeah, but he's got quite a round. He's got fat ears. Those people that have just like chunky ears.
Yeah.
So he's one of those guys. You can tell he's probably just got chunky hands, chunky feet.
Yeah.
But he's not. I thought he was fat, like wobble around. He's not at all.
Yeah.
He's just a bit, just a bit normal, I guess.
Well, they're all still in
Still
their
adolescents,
mid-teens, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
But
the
what was my
ginger
point?
girl didn't seem to age at all. She seems to look exactly the same.
She had quite an adult face in the first one,
Yeah.
because quite sharp features.
Yeah.
But the thing that I don't think it'll ruin it, but there's obviously we know Elle has lost her powers in the previous season.
Yeah.
I really, really didn't like how long we had to deal with her being this kind of weak, can't stand up for herself human being. I'm like, even if she's lost her powers, okay, you fought monsters from the underworld. You watched people die.
Yeah.
You're not taking shit from some bully. You're going to punch him in the face and tell him to shut the fuck up. Powers or no powers. No, don't for me. Come on. You have stood toe to toe with the monsters.
I think her story arc was that they were getting at her struggles aren't the same as everyone else's. Hers is fitting in because she didn't see anyone outside of that weird
Yeah, but I just think it went too far with
until she was however old. It was frustrating. But
no,
obviously
but that's my point. It was too in your face. It was too much of an obvious storyline they were going to take with her, because I know exactly what's going to happen now because they went so deep with it.
Yeah.
Whereas if they'd have left it a bit on the edge, I could have been like, well, is she, isn't she? Whereas the way they've gone with it, I'm like, well, definitely there's going to be this resurgence of her where she comes through and finds herself. And I'm not even there yet, and I bet I'm right.
Yeah, but the whole thing, it's all like coming of age stuff.
Yeah, but that was just too slammy in your face.
I thought the thing that happens, the big bad thing that happens to her, like the peak of the bullying, is a bit over the top. It's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
But again, it was just making a statement, wasn't it? I think. Well, overall, I really like this season. I think how brutal it is because it's
Oh
so
my
dark.
god! If you haven't seen it, and you are not ready.
Yeah.
You are
It's
not
got
ready.
kids in, but this ain't for
You
kids.
are not ready. Oh, there's bits in it with Hopper, like the storyline of Hopper's arc. Jesus, couldn't watch it. Almost turned away. Almost turned away.
Yeah, it's brutal. This one, I think this one's the darkest of them. Of
It
them
needed
all.
to be though, because they're older. It gets dark. It's like the Harry Potter arc.
Yeah.
It needs to go that way.
But I'm very pleased with it so far. Like I was really worried that they were gonna, because so much time had elapsed, it just wasn't gonna live up to what we remembered. And from the first episode, I was like, "That's fucking good."
Yeah.
Just
the end of the first one, I literally went, "Oh,
yes,
oh!" So they went hard, out loud.
yeah. I was just like, oh, they're fully going
I was
for it.
fully in then. But the worst thing is they released all the episodes in one go. And I wish I like it when they restrict us. Like Disney restricts you with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
You get 2 episodes when they launch it, and then it's week to week.
Yeah.
And I almost wish they don't with Stranger Things because I finish it too fast.
I know,
Then we've got to wait another 100 years for the next series.
Oh god, yeah. Well, it's only 1 month, but I spoke
Hopefully they
to.
film 2 back to back, surely.
Well, it's just like part 1, part 2. So I think there's only a couple of episodes in the bit that's coming out. It's just to finish up this bit of the story. But I spoke to the manager because he had his day off on the day that it came out, and I didn't realise what day Stranger Things was actually out. And I was training with him the next morning. I said, "Oh, Stranger Things is out, isn't it?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it came out yesterday." And I was just like, "Yeah, have you started it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've watched 4 episodes." But like each episode's over an hour, isn't it? Like an hour 20 or something. They're long.
I'm not going to lie. This morning was spent mainly in bed watching Stranger Things.
Oh really?
Yeah. You know, it's just open the window, nice fresh day, but it's kind of grey outside. I'd like uploaded all my videos yesterday, got all my stuff done. I was just like, I'm just going to sit and enjoy this morning.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to go training because I've been getting up early, getting into the gym,
I've
getting my morning
seen.
gym sessions done.
Yeah.
And
How do you feel for it?
oh, I'm grumpy when I go,
Yeah.
but I'm great when I come out.
Yeah.
And when I'm in there, I'm dialed in. Because it's the first thing I'm doing. I'm getting up. I take my tablets. So I'm getting back on routine with my I've got my B12s in this time, which I didn't have before. So I've got B12s, D3, E for my skin. Then I've got my glucosamine.
Taking E's before.
Taking E's.
Taking a couple of E's before it works out.
Yeah, getting there. Big fish, little fish. Bench press squats. How long have we got left on that video? I don't want blackouts. I refuse to have one.
It doesn't. There's no.
Oh no, there's
there's
no
no
info.
numbers.
Let me info it.
Yeah, taking some E's.
Yeah, yeah. Big fish, little fish, bench press squats. Get in there. Music, nice. I've got my gymtastic playlist on, which actually I think I've made. I think that's public, everyone. So if you want a good, I'm heavily set in rock. But if you like that, if you go on Spotify and search Lex Griffin Gymtastic, it should pop up as a playlist. It's forever getting new songs added to it as and when I find them. But that's basically my fuel for the morning because I'm not eating before I go. Like food, what I'm having is I get the Clear Way Gainer, that orange and mango one. It just tastes like naughty fruit juice. But it's giving me. I think I end up getting about 40 grams of protein, 80 grams of carb, and no fat, which is great around the training. So I'm getting protein in, I'm getting those fast-acting carbs in as I'm on my way to the gym, and then I drink half of it on the way, and the rest finish it during the session. So I got my intra-workout carbs in, and then I get a jacked pump from it because I'm also taking pump enhancer on the way through, which is just beta-alanine, arginine, and I think it might have, what's the malate one? Citrulline in it as well. So it's just like no stims.
Yeah, just
so I get my
pure
my
pump.
coffee and then that, and then I'm off to the gym. And it's because it's my first main focus of the day. I am like almost to the point of get the fuck out my way if you're in my way level of training again.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. Like your head is clear. That's the first task of the day. So it kind of, I always find as in a workout, as the workout progresses, as you start to go through, no matter what you're doing, your last set of bicep curls isn't going to be as intense as your first set of barbell rows or whatever else, just because your energy is wearing down. Even if you mentally still have that focus, you're still fatiguing. So like the same thing happens throughout the day. If training is the last thing that you do, the amount of energy that you've actually got to use as a resource is is going to be less than first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, theoretically, your testosterone's higher in the morning. There's all these other benefits of why early morning training works. But for me, just that mental clarity of not having the clutter of the day, just kind of getting in and taking it, I just find that so much better for focus.
I'd say the fuck off your phone.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck off your phone. Here's a hint. You're taking a bag to the gym with you. If all you're going with is your headphones and your phone in a water bottle, no. Take a bag. Put your phone in a zip in your bag. So for you to get to your phone, you have to go through multiple layers to deliberately pull it out, not just your pocket. Because this thing of having it just in an open pocket, you can whip it out in a second. That's why people do it. You put it in a bag that's not right next to you. Now all of a sudden you're going to go to it less and less, and you'll build that habit of not going to your phone in between sets.
I track my my workout through an app on my
I
phone.
think this is a problem.
I used to like
Airplane mode your phone then.
Yeah, you can do that.
Download your Spotify playlist. So go and search Lex Griffin Gymtastic on Spotify. Download the playlist so it plays without needing to be online. And I'm pretty sure your app mustn't need to be online to just log your shit.
I have no idea.
Can't
I've
need
not
to be.
tried it.
Can't need to be. You must store it internally. It's a really shitty part of the app if it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try.
Must do. Must do.
It's that Ganbaru.
Gangbang.
Ganbaru. The
Gangbang HD.
yeah, Ganbaru. Is that?
Don't know.
The chap you were showing me, the long-haired Asian guy.
Yeah.
What's his name now?
I don't know. I never knew it in the first place. I
Yeah.
just know it's long-haired
But he
Asian guy with really good calves.
Yeah, he does like loads of really good YouTube content, very informative stuff, and he's got this app.
He's got a great breakdown.
And there's loads of stuff on there. It's all like, because it's used to be a powerlifter, transitioned more to bodybuilding, but he's very into like anatomy and making sure that basically your positioning's right. So it's all very small intricacies, which are stuff that I've ignored from the bodybuilding aspect, because I'm just like, if I'm doing some heavy shit, it's getting worked one way or the other. But this is just like optimizing things.
He does really clever ones where he talks about leverage points of each lift. So he'll define where the actual lift gets harder and where it gets easier, and why you need to vary the two. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
So simply changing the angle in which you lift a cable machine literally changes where the difficulty on the muscle hits. And people think when they get to the top of the rep, that's where you're working the hardest. But by changing the body angle, sometimes that's the least hard point of a rep.
Yeah.
So he's really good for watching for things like that. On that
Shame we
note,
can't remember his name.
yeah, long-haired, kind of Chinese, but not.
Let me have a look.
Really well-spoken American bloke.
Let me have a look.
Good-looking lad.
He is.
Great shape.
Yeah, really
Great shape.
jacked. And strong as shit.
He also is
he's just
quite
torn
controversial.
His pec.
Yeah, he did tear his pec. Oh, and that's actually a thing. So he said when he tore his pec, what he did was he was training with another guy who lifts quite heavy. And he said, you think that was...
Eugene Tao.
Eugene Tao.
Yeah, Teo Tao.
Yeah, he's really good. But he said he tore his pec, not because he went in to train with somebody that lifted bench heavy. He said I don't bench heavy. It's not the way I train. So I jumped in with whoever it was he was training with. I started doing a heavy bench, and he said I felt the pec tear, but then kept training because, well, I traveled all this way to train with the guy. I wasn't going to stop.
Yeah.
But he said it wasn't, the reason he tore the pec wasn't because it was heavy. It was because he'd been traveling for 3 days, he'd had very little sleep, his nutrition was off, and when he went in to train, he was already fatigued from what he'd done the previous week and he hadn't recovered. This is the same thing that happened to me with my arm.
Yeah.
When I went to that My Protein kind of boot camp thing to be like the coach, one of the coaches, that previous week, I'd had an average of 4 hours sleep per night. We'd been talking about it. I had an average of 4 hours sleep per night. I'd been training really hard. I got back into doing like 9 rounds of boxing before every single session. So my training had doubled, my sleep had halved, and then I travelled all the way up to Manchester on the day to coach when I was there. So my body was tired, my mind was fatigued, and then I had this rip happened. And I truly believe it wasn't, if I'd have thrown that punch in exactly the same way, but had all my food on point and had slept well, I don't think my bicep would have ripped off.
No,
I genuinely
it's
think
the accumulation, isn't it? It's the accumulation.
I think it was. I think the body was just broken down from like a couple of weeks of training hard and undersleeping. And
I do think with Eugene tearing his pec as well, the fact that it was a new stimulus, not new stimulus, but a novel stimulus, something, because he used to bench press loads when he was powerlifting, but then he said he doesn't bench press anymore. So if he'd have just gone in and maybe done a normal chest workout or upper body workout, probably would have had a less likelihood of tearing. But
you still got to have the stress to tear.
Yeah, combining the fact that it was a new movement that was loaded heavy, he was pushing himself probably a little bit harder because he was there specifically training with somebody.
Didn't warm up the same.
Yeah, all of these other factors that do kind of play into it. And
It's something to bear in mind.
it's really like interesting to think as well that somebody, because he's extremely smart and he felt something go, and he still felt that pressure to like, oh, I'm here, I'll still get in, and it's like, he probably thought, it's not a tear of maybe just like it's a little tweak or something like that.
Yeah, but we've all had that where you like burst blood vessels. Like I remember when I was training chest one time, my spotting partner Noah, who is just one of the funniest humans alive, but unintentionally, he was spotting me, and he said as I got to the top of this rep, and I used to always train to like when I was first starting out to like crazy failure, like full on, like to the point once I bit through my own bottom lip and didn't realize it, because there was so much tension on the muscle, you can only feel one pain at once. I couldn't feel myself biting through my own lip, and I put a hole underneath that, do like properly. I used to do Rocky face when it got tough, like yeah, Adrian. So he said, he's like, bite my bottom lip, and I bit right through the fucker. And he said, as I got to the top of the rep and I was straining, he literally watched these minor blood vessels, like just the crossover between the pec and the shoulder, just go bing, 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 and just pop. He watched it go, woof. And then obviously it then bruises up, it looks like a bruise, and then dissipates really quickly as well. But that's how much my blood pressure was shooting up, and the stress on the muscle and the blood and everything, and the tension. And
have you seen my black eye at the moment? You noticed a little bit of a black eye. I was going
to comment on that. Is it either mascara or black eye? Is that from someone grinding their...
I don't know how it happened.
It's got to be a forearm across the face.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, because I've been to BJJ twice this week, because I made it there on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then just went today. But so much better
on that
twice a week.
I found out that there is a boxing club in Wellington, which is on my way to the gym.
Yeah.
But actually closer. Right. So I think what I'm going to do is go down there and see if I can join them. As long as they'll let me do some filming there and stuff as well, because I'd like to do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then because I've realised I need to put myself in a place of adversity. If I'm always the top dog in what I'm doing, and by training with myself in a gym, I'm going to be the top dog of myself. There's no one there and anyone who's joining in with me is too respectful of me, and they're either not been bodybuilding long, or they're still trying to get in shape. So I'm kind of the leader of the training session. There's no one being, only when I'm with you.
When we're doing lower body session,
legs and stuff.
God, that's a while ago actually.
But that makes me really makes me really want to work then, because I come out of it feeling like I don't have shit together. So I'm going to go put myself in a room where most people want or can beat me up. And I think it'll really help then drive me as well into the gym and keep me going, because I had a big fall off for about 2 weeks from the gym. Where I was like, I was being a lazy asshole. And also just undermotivated. It wasn't just that I was lazy. I was thinking, I'd even plan in my day, I'm going to go to the gym. And I'd get there and I'd just be like, nah.
I think that's another reason why getting it done first thing in the morning, because then you don't have time for any excuses. If you build into your day, obviously it varies depending on your lifestyle and your work, whatever else. But you've got complete flexibility over your schedule for the most part. And some people are like, oh, that's amazing. But I've also been in that exact same position. And when you've got all this freedom, procrastination becomes like your worst fucking enemy.
The king of procrastination.
Which is why actually having a busy day and having shit kind of in the way can be useful, because it boxes you in. Because if you don't, if I don't go to the gym at 7 o'clock in the morning, I ain't going to make it. So you get up, you've got nothing else to do, you're only up for one fucking reason. Get up, put some clothes on, brush your teeth, walk out the door, or whatever. Whatever. I think
that's the trick. Get outdoors as quick as possible.
Yeah, just get up and do it. And then, training's probably going to be the most taxing thing that you're doing that day, unless you're fucking shoveling dirt for the rest of your life. But then everything else does feel a bit easier, and I know I feel way more productive for the rest of the day, because I'm normally quite groggy in the mornings. It takes me a few hours to really feel like I've woke up.
Dude, what is that?
But once I've trained, after the first few sets, I'm awake, and then from whatever time I've done training, I am fully turned on. Everything is all
do you know what I did
firing on all cylinders.
On the way through on one day, as I listened to motivational speeches on the way in, and Arnold one popped in there. An Arnold one, and I made notes that I wanted to bring up today on this because of that. Let me find these notes in the thousands of notes that I make.
While you're doing that, I went to BJJ again today. Firstly, it was so good going with only a few days apart, because normally I'm only going once a week and it feels like I've forgotten almost everything from the previous. But I also got to roll with somebody. There's a guy there now who's newer than me. And he's been going like 5 weeks, but I've not seen him before.
Did you get your bully sense on?
Yeah, well, no, I just got to...
I smell a victim.
It was the first time I got to roll with somebody that's not more advanced than me. So I'm actually able to like put more, because the thing is, because I'm going to an open mat, so I'm not even going to classes. So the thing that I'm getting taught, like the people who are teaching me are the people who I'm then trying to do it to. So it's never going to happen, because they literally just showed me how to do it. So they're never going to let me do that to them in an actual role. So then being able to apply some of that was really useful, but also having a bit more of a condensed time frame. And my jaw got dislocated earlier on today as well. That was quite fun.
You popped your jaw out?
Yeah. So it's all right now, but it literally took a couple of minutes to get it back in. And
who was putting it back in for you?
Me. Yeah. I dislocated it a long time ago from fighting, and it's not bothered me for years and years because I don't have pressure on my jaw randomly. But there was a choke that wasn't in tight enough. I kept my chin tucked. Yeah. And I was being stubborn. I couldn't get out of it, but I was just being stubborn. I was just like, I'm not happy. Yeah, I was partly doing it for him because he knew that he obviously hadn't got it in tight enough. Yeah. Because I could still breathe. So I was like, I'm just hanging out here a little bit. And I was there for maybe 30 seconds or so. And then all of a sudden I just had like a wave of like heat just fire up. It was this side. Go from like the bottom of my jaw all under my ear and then up around the back of my head. And then it didn't hurt. It just felt really weird. And I tapped because I knew something was wrong. Yeah. And he was like, was that your jaw? And then I went to say, yeah. And then my jaw was like over here. Oh. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I think my jaw's popped out. Yeah, I could talk a little bit, but not properly. And my jaw was like here. And I was just trying to like manipulate it back into place. And it wasn't happening. And I had to like literally push. So I was pushing that way to get it back into line, and then had to open it, and then it clicked back in. But then it kept coming back out. It kept like locking out.
After you could feel it kind of clacking.
Yeah, but each time it would go out and back in, it would stay in easier. So I was almost having to like manually pop it out and back in several times after. But yeah, it was all right afterwards. So. It was fun though as an experience. Popped my jaw out.
Yeah, I've been punched hard enough where it's knocked my jaw, like stretched, obviously. Like maybe it's not stayed out, but maybe it's been like knocked her out to go straight back in. Yeah. And I was unable to eat for like 3 days.
Yeah, I'm fortunate that because I know this has happened to me before, it literally can go out and pretty much get forced back in place. But
it's not hurting you now?
It's uncomfortable. It feels like I've just got DOMs like down there. But
so if I had to give you like something chewy now,
if I clench my teeth, this side's touching. There's a gap on that side. I can't close my jaw completely on that.
Is that all the time?
No, just now. But I think it's still because it's quite swollen on that one side. And like I said, most of it feels like it's up almost behind my ear.
Well, yeah, I guess where you do have. I mean, your jaw's here, the bone's here, but your musculature goes here and here, doesn't it? Clusters to give you that.
So it was fun.
Power. Chomp power.
Yeah. But, and also then, because I carried on rolling after once, I stopped for about 10 minutes while I was like getting it in and out, trying to like get back to normal. And I was like, I think I'm.
You should have put one of those things on like in Ebenezer Scrooge. You know, just tie it around your head, a big knot on the head.
And strap my jaw up.
Strap it.
It's just to stop my jaw falling off.
Yeah, just a big there bow on the top.
And I said to Kieran, who did it to me, because he kept apologising. I was like, "Don't worry, mate. You were like, that's good. You did everything right." And it was me being stubborn and not tapping. And I just said, like, look, we'll just carry on rolling. If it pops out,
crank my face.
Yeah. And he said, I'll try and avoid it. I was like, just do what you need to do. And I said, if it pops out, I'll just tap again. We'll just have to stop if I do. But you don't realise how much you actually use your jaw when you're rolling, because like to close up space, you're constantly like digging your jaw into someone, digging your chin in, and you're protecting yourself. And I wasn't able to do it. So then like people were able to get their hands in on me because I couldn't protect myself as much. But no, it was a fun experience. I thought I fucking tore my hip flexor the other day going because Gaskin threw me. And like I just jolted my leg, like fully extended my leg very harshly, and like it just hyperextended. Well, not hyperextended, but it extended my hip very quickly. Yeah. And for the rest of the day, which was the day where I had to move all the dirt, I couldn't lift my left leg up properly. So I was kind of like dragging my left leg with me. But
Well, you're like you must have looked like the living dead off the bury.
I don't know how they
rest
do
of
it,
you,
man.
Just limping your way up the driveway like a zombie. Whoa, just digging up dirt.
I don't know if I'm just.
Pet cemetery.
I don't know if I'm just like not injury prone because they're all like minor, or if it's just that I'm still not
powerlifting.
I've still not like
The
adapted to it.
one-dimensionalness of the lifting.
Yeah, because I've done that for such a long time. I am stiff.
It's not used to the angles of sudden and jarring impacts.
Yeah, because that's.
Whereas if you fight and all you do is fight, you bounce around like an elastic ball.
Yeah, I am like I think I need to do some yoga stuff again just to like try and get a little bit more
I try to do
mobility.
some yoga in the mornings and I have a go. I just hate it. I hate it. And I really know it's good for you, and I know it's supposed to be like a mindfulness moment. I just fucking hate it. Also, why do they make all the names of everything so complicated?
Yeah.
Like, why is something called a Sayakaru Uru? And I'm like, what? Oh, roll, stretch your arms and stay on your knees. Like, just give them simpler names.
Yeah, I've seen some yoga for BJJ. So it's all like
Yeah.
stuff that's specific.
Purpose-built.
Yeah,
It's great for you. I guess there's so many variations. I need to just find one I enjoy.
Oh, also today as well, it was a first for me. I turned up a little bit early, so I sat in the car just before I messaged you, and I was watching a BJJ video on my phone, and because so far everything I've done,
You're just getting an ammo list.
I was just like because I kept getting into what I was basically trying to get as many subs from like side control,
Yeah.
and I don't know what I think it's a head arm choke. And I was
Where
like,
you come
right.
around the side, you squeeze them on their own arm. Ooh, bashing the microphone.
Yeah,
so you
so
have
you-
their own arm across the neck. You come here and you put all your weight across and choke them. It's basically like a triangle effect. What you do with a leg triangle. But
Yeah, so
with
I'm
their
in side
arm.
control. I've tucked my head under their armpit, tuck it up,
Yes.
get a gable
Cinch
grip.
that arm in.
Yeah, pull it. Then you get into mount, and then you can even drop over to the other side and choke them with effectively your
Yeah, you
arm
move
and their arm.
into side and then choke them out from side, don't you?
Yeah. So and then so
Got
Kieran didn't know that I knew this, and I literally went for it pretty much straight away. I got in.
Whilst
I got
it was still fresh in your mind.
Yeah, I did literally within the first 10 minutes. I got it. I couldn't tap him with it though because one thing that it didn't show me in the video is like changing the position to get under his chin a little bit more.
Yeah.
So he was almost protected by his own shoulder because I
Yeah.
hadn't lifted his
Yeah,
chin
you've
up
got to
enough.
it's like a triangle choke. You're choking them on their own arm.
yeah.
So you've got to cut that blood off.
But I was just happy that I actually managed to get the positions and he knew exactly
manipulate them into the position you need.
Yeah, and then afterwards I said, "Oh yeah, I just watched a YouTube video," and he was like, "Yeah," and he explained it all to me. So no, it's good. I'm making it twice a week from now as well. So
really?
yeah, it'll be a Tuesday morning and then a Saturday morning. So
Fair play. You've been really consistent with it.
I am like I've weighed myself as well. George, you saw George there at my birthday thing, the chap who you were talking about bikes with.
Yep.
So, because George has always been a lot bigger than me, but he's been dropping weight and I've been gaining weight. And we weighed in today at exactly the same weight. We were both 92.95 kilos.
But you stay consistent.
So, yeah. And realistically, that would, in most federations, that puts me in like super heavy.
It puts you in the don't fucking compete federation.
Yeah,
That's what that puts you in.
I'm super, and I'm fucking 5'9". I should not be super heavy.
No.
Like I should be middle. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah, most people at yours would be 70, 75 kilos.
probably
much more than
mid
that.
to high 70s. I reckon I can't do that. There's no way I'd be able to get down to that. I might be able to get down to like low 80s, maybe, over a very long period of time. I wouldn't like try and
Problem
cut
with
down
that
to
is you're just working with taller guys, bigger guys, longer limbs. It's just
Yeah.
a fucking...
There's like pros and cons to both, which I've seen. Like, because now I've started to do a little bit of stand up, and I'm actually decent with stand up because being shorter and being quite strong.
Yeah, you can shoot and drive quicker.
Yeah, I'm just powerful as well. So like, as soon as like I can just kind of muscle people, I can
Yeah.
just pick people up and just chuck them.
Yeah.
Which not Gaskin because he's too big, but like so I've got a bit of an advantage there. So there's like pros to being short and stocky or being tall and like lanky. Because one of the guys like getting chokes in on people when you've got thick arms. It's hard to get in.
Yeah.
Like whereas some
and
of the
you'll gas
guys,
quicker on your arms as well.
yeah.
Going for chokes.
Yeah, but
Too much muscle
some of the
mass.
guys that are literally like really skinny little rake arms, they're fucking lethal.
Yeah,
though, 'cause-
dude. There's a guy in Manchester, Gavin Boardman, it's called. If you were to pass him in the street,
Yeah,
you would not even notice him.
yeah.
He's the most unassuming bloke ever. He's usually in a hoodie that's slightly oversized. just walks with casual hands in his pockets. That motherfucker's so talented, he was inventing his own submissions.
Yeah.
He sat on me. He must weigh, I'd say, at his absolute peak, 11 stone.
Yeah.
Like, he's fighting in 60 kilos numbers. It felt like somebody had put 100 kilo weight on my chest.
Yeah.
And he was teaching while sat on my chest, crushing me, and would move into positions going, "You feel that?" To which my response was, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And I could not move from underneath him. It felt like I was wrestling with my mate Nadia, who was 18 stone. That's the only thing I could compare it to. To the point where I came out afterwards, just like, I've never felt anything like that. That was insane. Like, how did you make yourself so heavy? He's like, it's all hips.
Yeah.
Hips and pressure. And because they
such a
might be
talent, isn't
small, they might be sinewy, they might be lean, but every single fiber of them is designed for one fucking purpose.
Yeah,
and
crushing
it's
you.
just crushing and controlling you. There was another guy called Chris who was the same when I went to Predators in Blackburn, and he was very, very long and gangly, but the pressure he would apply to you, and he would talk to me whilst doing it, and I'd be like, I remember him being on me. I was like, "You're like a fucking spider monkey." Like, I couldn't get him off. And he was just, as he was moving into a position to choke the shit out of me, we were just going, it's all about relaxing and moving as he's going, as he's moving into death mode on me. And I just couldn't shake him.
Yeah.
And he was so chilled.
Yeah.
But because I must have outweighed him and outmuscled him by a good 30% on all avenues. And he just took me to pieces.
That's it, though, isn't it? It's not like, don't get me wrong, but if everything else was equal, being stronger is an advantage, but it doesn't get you that far. It really doesn't.
But this is why it's important to put yourself in the room with these people. Like, imagine where your ego's at. Yeah. If you're getting pinned down and crushed by a guy who weighs 70 kilos and you're a 90 kilo bloke, all of a sudden that ego shuts up a little bit.
Yeah, I literally get tapped by everybody there.
But that ego shuts up, and then your learning brain switches on. You're like, okay, shut the ego down. Let's learn why that happened. And the great thing about these fight gyms is people are there they want to see you not get tapped next week by that same move. If you don't, they'll be like, motherfucker, you learned. Well done.
Yeah.
Like, they're happy.
Yeah.
Because, that's what it's about. It's about lifting each other up. They want the challenge. They want you to get better. And the fact that they've helped is a buzz.
Yeah.
Like, if you show somebody something and the next week they're better at it because of you, you're like, fucking that's a good feeling.
Yeah, exactly. There was one really good bit towards the end of the session today where I was rolling with this chap. I think his name's Regan, and he's a big guy. He's a white belt, but he's quite a lot bigger than me. I think he's about 110 kilos.
Yeah.
And he rolled with me the other week and absolutely just destroyed me. And I couldn't do anything. He was just too big, too heavy, and my strength was just not enough. He probably was on a par strength wise, but then outweighed me by 20 kilos, which is a lot.
That's a lot.
And then in today's role, I was actually able to stay in a much more dominant position because I learned a few things. Because I got into side control for a minute before, and he literally just was like,
"See ya,"
fucking threw me off.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to keep too much pressure and keep tight. My limbs were in, and he just rolled me. Whereas, I was like, okay, I know what's going. So I was always I kept light on him, but I was ready to stop him. And I literally managed to get into a high mount position for a good couple minutes, and he was trying fucking everything. I felt like Buckaroo, just I was there whoa!
rodeo
it was like a rodeo.
Yeah.
But that was quite nice knowing that because he's a white belt, so he's more advanced than I am.
Yeah.
And he still tapped me in the end. He still got the submission, but it was just the little things that you pick up on, and then you're like, because it feels like when you get smashed by somebody, you don't know what they know. So when somebody beats you, in your head, you're like, fucking hell, they must know everything. But sometimes you'll actually find yourself in a position where you know more than them, even though they're more knowledgeable overall, because it's so complex. I really, really enjoy it.
There's just something to be said for putting yourself in a position of struggle, putting yourself in a place where you're not the best, where you don't know everything, and to willingly put yourself there.
Yeah,
it's a great way of controlling your ego, of motivating yourself to learn, and also developing relationships with other people that maybe in everyday life you might be further ahead of them in a job or the hierarchy of society or all that shit. But in that room, that hierarchy means nothing.
Yeah.
And that's a freedom. And you can, and it just, what it does is it teaches you to be able to learn from anyone and everyone around you, because people know, you can't know everything. So there's always going to be somebody that knows more than you. So learn from those people. And it doesn't matter what else they don't know that you know. That's not the point. in that moment, what do they know that you don't that can help? And I think having that attitude and being able to, especially for some people who are a bit uppity, to have to sit and listen to somebody who's maybe just a fucking bricklayer, and they're like against the banker, but the banker sits and listens as a student from the bricklayer, and for me, I just think that's a kind of a beautiful thing to just see that
it's an equalizer, isn't it?
In certain situations, everybody can be, the master of a craft, or can be the teacher or the student, and I don't know. It's a never-ending thing. You can never know it all. That's the great thing about the fight game. It's always evolving. People are always learning. Even the best of the best sometimes change their entire strategy. Yeah, they'll come in and have a complete different formula because something's changed. The stand-up guy now knows something they didn't used to know. Yeah. So all of a sudden, that ground guy has to change his game, and he has to get a bit better at stand-up. Yeah. To then be able to create that opening for him to get to the ground and stuff like that. I think it's. People see fighting as violence, but it's not. It's art, and it's science, and it's strategy. It's warfare. You know, it's fucking, and it's one of the biggest highs you'll ever have, is winning a competitive fight that you've trained for and waited for. Yeah, nothing will beat that.
Yeah, I am thinking about looking at competing as just getting like a white belt comp out the way in a few, I don't know, handful of months.
Dude, imagine those nerves again when you're doing something like that.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And your manliness is on the line.
I know. Yeah, it'd be interesting. It really would.
Vibe.
It's, I've never, put myself out there in that sense.
So I remember that first competition I went to, and I just remember not just being genuinely shit scared and hiding it as best as I could. Yeah. And then I just went in and fucking pound. They just kept getting shocked that I'd win. I'd be like, fucking hell, I actually won one. And then they won another one. And yeah, you underestimate yourself constantly until you're in there, and then you realize what you do know.
Yeah, that's it. So, and the thing with that group as well, they're just so, like you said, everyone's there just to better each other, and no one's ever mean, no one's ever rude. It's literally just like everyone knows that we're all at different stages, and people are just there to talk about what's going on, and just have that respect for people, the fact that you've showed up, because that's the hardest thing. Is
I think that people need to know that is that when you go to these places, there isn't anything to be scared of in terms of there being a bully or this macho mentality. That's not what people are about. People are they're about there for themselves, getting better. They want to learn, they want to drill, and improve. It's a similar thing to the gym. That's the same thing. Is you get all these different levels of people in the gym together. And everyone should just be there to improve themselves. So it's irrelevant what everyone around them is doing, or not, unless it's something they can learn from. Yeah, it's a good, and so that crosses over. I think that's the biggest crossover I have from going from fighting to the gym, was that level of no fucks given about those around me, because if they're better than me, I can learn from them, and if they're not, I can impart something. And that's the mentality to have, rather than it's not a competition of what the guy's doing next year. It's not a competition. It's a learning curve, or it's a chance to learn, or a chance to teach. And that's a different mentality to have than going in there with this fucking ego of trying to be the macho guy or whatever. You won't learn shit from that. All you'll learn is that over time you don't get any better, and everyone else around you does.
Yeah, I can't see how anyone would do that. I was talking to my mate Chris, and he's thinking about coming to BJJ or doing something, and I kind of called him on what it was, because I knew he was feeling the same way as I did. Basically, at school, we used to fight all the time, and we have this
there's naughty fighting outside of school.
You used to get into
fight each other or fight together.
Just fighting other people.
Oh, okay.
We just get into fights quite frequently, and I would always win. And as an adult, after I got arrested for fighting, and then I kind of started to realize, fuck, I'm an adult now. I can't. Yeah. There's consequences to this. It's different to when you're at school and you can just do whatever, and it doesn't really matter. So then made a very conscious effort to avoid conflict as much as possible, and got into a relationship with somebody who kind of guided me in a much better path anyway. And part of me wanted to think that I still was good at fighting, because I'd not been challenged for such a long time. Whereas realistically, if you've not done something for 10 plus years, I might be better than your average person off the street.
Base. Yeah, maybe.
But to say that I was a good fighter is
egotistical.
Yeah, that's egotistical. Yeah. So part of almost not wanting to go, because I know I was going to go and get fucking smashed, especially at BJJ, because I've done striking stuff, but I've never done any kind of grappling, submission grappling. So there was no chance of me being good at it. So I had to know that Lewis, who identifies as somebody who can handle themselves, is going to get smashed by like a 40-kilo woman, probably. And I've got to just be okay with it. And it was nerve-wracking at the start. And then once everyone's beaten you once, you're like, well, I'm shit. So may as well stick around.
Do you know, when I went back for those couple of times I went there and did the rolls and that, I was still really okay with being beat. Because I had been way better on the ground, obviously I had to be from when I was actually fighting. I used to be really, really quite capable on the floor. I could tap people, I could work for submissions and do all that. And I'd obviously lost a lot of that knowledge finishing base from when I went back. Like as we found with our 30-minute roll where we couldn't tap each other because we just kept getting into positions of like, there's something we're supposed to do now. We just couldn't cinch him in, could we? So for me, I thought, you'd think maybe after getting to a certain level of actual fighting competitively to then come back where after you've not been doing it, there might be an ego thing there. But no, absolutely not. I still went straight back to that kind of, I still call them dojos, but fight school or whatever you want to call it, straight back into just being like, okay, cool, got shit to learn again. It's fine. I think so. Once you get over it once, it's all good.
I think it's that mentality of taking that mentality to other things as well, isn't it? Being willing to learn, because your ego doesn't do anything other than hold you back for the most part. True. I think if you think you've got something sussed, you're going to fail. Fail. You are every day is a school day in all aspects of life.
And that's fine.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's okay. And there's a real fine balance between knowing your capabilities and thinking you're the shit.
Well, this crosses on to the points I was making actually on my drive into the gym for us to just the quick ones I wanted to impart, so we can leave this as the ending part of it. Okay. Anyway, so
is this from Arnold?
Some of it's from Arnold, some of it's from other bits, but what the hell? Did that put your jaw out?
Yeah, it didn't feel good.
Don't do the now. He's got a hell of a jaw. Maybe it's from the now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, still not good, mate. Still not fabulous.
Okay, so one of them is, and it's literally what you were kind of in line with what you're talking about, is you need to have a vision. Because if you don't have a vision, if you don't have that strict goal set as to what you're going to want to achieve, you're literally going to drift. Like you said, you had your mate who wasn't committing to coming to the jiu-jitsu. I want to do something. No. You will continually just want to do something if you don't start anything. And you'll continue for years in that same vein.
Well, it was the thing that was holding him back was what held me back, is that not wanting to confirm that you ain't got it anymore. So have a vision of getting back to where you were. That's your fucking vision. So full well, right, I'm starting at base camp and we're going to climb that fucking hill again. And that's the vision. That's his vision. The vision will be to get back to go into the class with the confidence to roll again. That would be the vision. But it's true. You don't have a vision, you're going to drift. And it's massive. The procrastination takes over. And that's what we were saying. That's why during your day, if you do have these breakups of commitments of time to do something, even if you don't have a goal for that day, they're forcing a goal upon you because you've got those timescales that you have to adhere to. And that's why when we work on our own, giving yourself even false timescales, false times that you have to get something done between this hour and this hour is going to at least kind of keep you on that even keel. So that's the vision one. One is this. This was the one for me. This is really important. I think a lot of people need to hear this. Is you need to make training an exciting part of your day. You need to be excited to go to training. You need to be excited to go to jiu-jitsu. You need to be like, what the fuck am I going to learn today? What am I going to get today for my child? I'm going to go knowing that when you go to the gym, every set, every rep, every effort that you put into those moments where you want to quit and you fucking don't, they are a step forward towards that vision that you just made. And that's what, and so you make training, like I get goosebumps talking about it. Look, because I've got it again, I've got that back. So I know that when I go in, that at the moment there's parts of myself I'm not happy with in terms of my physique. So I know every time I get that fucking session in, I'm one step closer to getting rid of that shit that I don't like anymore and getting forward towards what I'm going to like looking at in the mirror again. I know I'm capable of doing because I've done it before. So having that and knowing that what you're going to is going to give you a positive and remaining in that rather than looking at training as fuck, I'm tired, I've got to get through it. I've got to go and deal with that guy who's 90 fucking kilos is going to sit on top of me and crush me for a fucking 35 minutes. Instead, go and deal with like, today, fuck yeah, I'm going to get a day's been shit, but fuck, at least I've got that gym. At least I know I can control powering through and getting some positive from this session. How you frame your tasks, making a massive difference. You can say, oh, I've got to go to the gym, or I get to go to the gym. That's a luxury. Yeah.
It's a luxury to be able to drive to the gym.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Yeah, you got a nice car. You get to drive to the gym, which is a nice looking gym. It's got some great equipment.
Or not even that. You've got a car that will get you to a fucking gym.
Yeah. But I was going to say, it's framing and thinking about things as they are. And I'm actually re-listening to Atomic Habits. I'm doing my once every 12 months re-listen to that audiobook, Atomic Habits.
I need to listen to this.
I'll send you I've got credits. I'll send it you. You can do it in it's like 5.5 hours. It's fucking nothing. You can knock it out so fast. And one of the things it talks about with forming new habits, make it fun. If it is fun, it's more likely to be doable. And it's like you almost start bite sized. So if you know that you've got a bit of energy to try and you want to do something, but where you're starting at, doing an hour and a half session is going to kill you. Just do a 15-minute session. Yeah. Turn up and just do it. And then before it stops being fun, leave.
Yeah.
And then next time, you can do a tiny little bit more and a tiny little bit more. Because once that habit's ingrained, you're still having to make the effort to get to the gym. So whether you're there for 15 minutes or 50 minutes.
This is what gets me. I don't understand people who get to the gym, get in there, and then sit on their fucking phone or sit there just fucking looking into space. Motherfucker, you've done the hard part.
Yeah.
You got yourself to the gym.
Bit's getting in.
Yeah. Now, make the most. You can be in and out of that motherfucker in 40 minutes if you so wish. If I'm on my own, I can train 3 body parts, which is a total of 5 sets per body, or 2 sets, 10. So I can do a total of 30 sets.
Yeah.
And get that shit done in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And done and out if I fucking put my mind to it. If it's not a heavy week.
Yeah, I was going to say, hypertrophy stuff, you 100%.
That's realistic. Most people take it. I could take an hour and a half and dilly-dally.
Yeah, for the exact same.
For the exact same workout.
Yeah.
So it's huge, that mindset when you're going in places. So make it fun is a very good thing to be doing. And visualize, what have I got here? My other note is visualize it positively. Focus on how far you've already come, even if it's just a small amount. So we're always going in. If you're always going in somewhere, like you said, once a week, I got to do fucking... There we go. I'll make it into a tune. This is a tip of the day. If you always go in focusing on what went wrong the last time you were in there, or what's going to go wrong in this session because you failed at it last time, you're going to fail at it again.
Yeah.
If you go in looking at the positives that you've created over that last week that you're in the gym, okay, so some things didn't go right, but what did go right? Focus on those wins. Focus on the accomplishments and start praising yourself for them, because what we do is we get hypercritical and only focus on what we did wrong, which didn't work, because what you're good at you don't count anymore. No, fucking you still count what you're good at.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. Praise yourself for staying good at it, because like we just talked about, you stop doing it, you fall off, which means you've kept something going.
Yeah,
and that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's being just, what's the word, not mindful, it's you're just being present, aren't you? It's you're being kind of factual. These are the positives, because it's so easy just to end up focusing on the negatives and the things that have slipped. Whereas you can, if you dig deep enough, you guarantee you'll find some positives, no matter how shit that week was or how shit that training session was.
We talked about it. You can do that with the gratitude board as well. We talked about that before. Having a gratitude board, and that's a simple thing of write 3 to 5 things at the end of each day that you're grateful for. And it just gets you in this mentality of even looking for the small things. Like it could literally be, if you've had the shittest day on earth, it could be the fact that you have a roof over your head, water coming out the tap, a warm shower before bed. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter what the thing is you're grateful for. It's the fact that you are finding the positives no matter what. And sometimes
that's the habit that you're actually trying to build. It's being able to identify good things, even if they are small, because we get numb to them, don't we?
Yeah. This is it. Yeah, you take it for granted. Yeah. So remind yourself that, maybe you do have a nice car to drive places to, but you've had that car for 3 months now and you're used to it, so it's just the car you have. No, remember, you worked and you were able to buy this nice car, or you've got a new motorbike that you're able to go and ride about. There's whatever it is, or a new bike, you've got new shoes, what the fuck, it doesn't matter, but remember that you worked for something and it was a positive that you got there. And then what was the other thing I've put here? Yeah, this is just, there's a good one to finish. It's the one that always resonates with me, and every time someone says it out loud, it makes me remember. And it's, if you always just do the same thing, you'll only ever have what you've already got. Yeah. And it's so fucking true. And you're doing we talk about circling the drain. That's what that is.
Yeah.
It's just doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different fucking results.
Yeah.
Don't do that. There's always got to be some progression. There's always got to be some change. So focusing on the positives and then positively critiquing the negatives as to how you could just adjust them to get past them, to make them a little bit better, to improve a little further. And I think that's a good one to finish on. So
yeah, definitely. Keep adding in, not necessarily adding in new things, but keep pushing yourself, even if they're small tweaks here and there. It's like you might still, say you train 4 days a week, still get in and train 4 days a week, but push yourself a little bit harder, add in an extra set, reduce your rest intervals, add more weight, change up the exercise to a harder variation or an easier variation and push the load heavier. Like, make changes that are eventually going to accumulate something, even if it's just 0.5% here and there, because that 1%, over time, that compounds.
Yeah. Lots of little wins build up to a big result.
Exactly, yeah.
So it is. Mindset is everything. Mindset is huge, and it is one of the things that will either pull you down or drive you forward. So there you go. So you've had it. Make sure you have a vision. Make training an exciting part of your day again. Be grateful for the ability to be able to go and do it. Visualize positive affirmations about yourself, like positive things that you see that you've done. Remember about yourself, how far you've come, where you were and where you are now. And if where you were before was better and where you are now is worse, look at how you have actively noticed that and are now making a positive change to get back to where you were. That in itself is a fucking win. And people forget that again. Yeah. Realizing that you're now in a negative is half the fucking battle. Yeah. So that in itself gives you that motion to now start looking more positively. And if you've always done what you always do, you'll always have what you always got.
Yeah. It's the definition of insanity, according to Vass from Far Cry 3. repeating the same action and expecting different outcomes. Yep. So I don't know whether that's actually the definition of insanity, but Vass told me it was.
I didn't even write it down when I was writing it in the car because I was so spirited in writing it. I actually wrote, I always just do the same thing. You'll only ever have what you've already got. It's not even English.
Yeah. At least you know what I meant. You know what you meant.
So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed a bit of a rambly one. It was a good old-fashioned one, that one was. Yeah. With a good tangent towards the end with some nice mindfulness for you to take home and actually get on. And don't just fucking listen to this and go, yeah, that's a good point. Put it into fucking action. Actually put it into action. Like getting up early and getting to the gym, I actually put it into action. And I'm already seeing the positive turnaround from that. Because it's not only making me get my shit done early, which give me the rest of the day to then not be able to procrastinate to miss the gym. It's also put me into a better cycle with getting my vitamins in, with getting my nutrition in, and thinking about things from the start of the day.
Are you feeling the rest of your day is more productive because you've got training done and knocked out early on?
It is. It's a less of a stress because I feel like I'm rushing it less to try and fit something in. And then inevitably I would not get it done because of the procrastination or the nature of the way I work. So then I feel like I'd failed because I then wouldn't get to the gym. So that would make me feel like a failure because I didn't get to the gym. And then there's parts of my physique that I want to improve on. Obviously then that's another step backwards in my mind's eye. So you see how it all becomes a cyclic negative occurrence. Yeah. So just this simple change of getting in and getting to the gym early instead of going late has had a really big impact on productivity and just my own well-being.
We need to get a session in together again soon.
Yeah, we do. Well, I need to make it once a week where I get over to you. I'm just I was actually on eBay last night looking for a little runaround car. Yeah. So I can get over to places like cheaper and easier. Yeah. And just not worry about parking and whatever. Yeah, just have a car that I can just chuck places and not care.
Just crash through the wall.
Yeah, it's not going to worry about getting broken into or nicked or anything like that. I can just drive into the Georgia through the wall. Oh yeah!
The Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, that'd be me. Kool-Aid. I'm going to get a red car. And Kool-Aid everywhere. Right, that's it. We're out. I hope you're all having a great week. If you had a bad week in the previous week before, whatever it was, leave it the fuck behind. Bring forward what was good and visualize those positives. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Toodle pip.
Toodle pip.